What's up, everybody? So today I'm going to be talking about what I thought were the 5 most critical pieces of gear that helped me be successful this year. It's not necessarily the 5 pieces of gear that I use the most or 5 pieces of gear that I used every time or anything like that. It's 5 pieces of gear that I thought pushed me in a direction to be successful. So I want to talk about those. Some of those are pretty simple pieces of gear, and some of them are a little bit different, but it's just 5 pieces of gear that I thought from the 2018 season helped me be successful. Stuff that I may not have used in the previous season that I used this year that helped me to be successful. So I'm going to start with number 5 being, and this isn't really a piece of a hunting equipment, it's a truck accessory. It's a combination of my decked truck bed storage and my ARE camper shell. So with that, I was able to store all my hunting gear in my truck year round, keep it dry and keep it safe and keep it organized. That way, if I had an hour after work, I had everything with me. I'd run to the stand, go climb up a tree and hunt. So let me talk about what that is. Decked truck bed storage, if you haven't seen it, is a cabinet system that lays in the bottom of your truck bed, and there's 2 drawers that you pull out. They're sliding drawers, super smooth. You pull them out and you can have all kinds of gear in there. When it's not hunting season, I keep all my forestry equipment in there, all my stuff for work. But when it's hunting season, I keep a lot of extra hunting stuff in there. Just little things, repair kits, first aid kits, hand warmers, just accessories like that. And then on one side, I took the eggshell crating out of my bow case, put it in the bottom of that drawer, and I turned that into my bow case. So I had all my bow stuff, my release, my arrows, all my accessories, repair kit for my bow, all in that drawer on one side. So I always had my bow, and it was always with me. I could just pull it out, and I could go hunting. Now the camper shell, that thing was a lifesaver. For one, I could keep all my hunting tubs in there all the time and keep them dry and keep them safe, keep them locked up. I wasn't having to run to my shop, grab my hunting gear. I had my hunting tubs with me at all times from October to January. So that's my number 5 piece of gear. Really, it just allowed me to keep everything safe and dry and organized, which helped me be a better hunter. My number 4 piece of gear is this Browning Strutter chair. It's a turkey hunting chair, and you may think that's a little absurd to use a turkey hunting chair. I did a lot of ground hunting this year, and actually in Kansas I killed my deer from the ground. And yeah, I hunt from the ground sometimes with no chair, but what I liked about this chair is it's raised about 4 inches off the ground, which gave me enough clearance to draw so my cam or my limb didn't hit the ground. When you're just sitting on your butt in the dirt, and I shoot a 32-inch limb-to-limb bow, my cam would get in the dirt. So this chair got me a little bit off the ground, and it also just allowed me to be a little bit more comfortable while on these long sits on the ground. Now, yeah, it's a little bulky, it's a little heavy, but with another piece of gear I'm going to talk to you in a little bit, my Mystery Ranch PopUp pack, I just threw this in the overload shelf. It's like it wasn't even back there, and it was a great piece of gear to just be a little bit more comfortable while hunting on the ground instead of sitting on my knees for so long, which I hate doing. I can't last but maybe an hour on my knees if I'm hunting on the ground. So that's my number 4 piece of gear, the Browning Strutter chair. It's a little big and bulky, but I'll tell you what, well, I killed my buck in Kansas out of it, and I hunted multiple other times out of it, and I'm going to hunt a lot out of the ground, from the ground, now that I have this chair. I think it's like $30 on Amazon. Super cheap. My number 3 piece of gear is this FHF Bino and rangefinder harness. So I'll put this thing on here. This allowed me to keep my binoculars and my rangefinder on my body at all times. It keeps it tight to your body. That way if you're leaned over, it's not going to slosh around. It stays tight to your body. You have everything right here where you need it. Quick access. Also, it allowed me to not have this stuff in my pack all the time. The rangefinder has a little bungee cord that comes with it, so it can hang. So if I range something, boom, and it'll just hang there. Or you can keep it in here where it's safe and dry and easy to get to. This allowed me to keep my pack more empty and lighter, and this was on my body at all times. So whether I was going to sitting on the ground or climbing up a tree or just out scouting, I had this with me. It also has a little thing over here where I keep my, this is just wind powder, and then on the other side I kept some milkweed. So this is the FHF gear. I think this is like the Pro M, and this is the binocular harness. And like I said, it just sits really tight to your body. It's super comfortable, and I wore this in every single hunt this year. It's really is a piece of gear that allowed me to be more mobile because I had it on me all the time. This is a little pricey. I'm not sure of the exact price point. I'll put all links and price points in the description below, but it's a little pricey. But you know what? I think it's a fantastic piece of gear, and it also, I'm going to use it turkey hunting. I'm going to use it on my elk hunt this year. So you can use it in all kinds of different hunting environments. So that's the FHF gear, binocular, and rangefinder harness. Now, my number 2 piece of gear. This is the Kestrel Aerohunter tree saddle. I can't talk enough about how much I love hunting out of a saddle. And this saddle is extremely lightweight, extremely mobile, and you can wear it in and out of the field, which I really like. I used to hunt out of the trophy line, and yes, the trophy line is more comfortable than this, but the trophy line is, you just can't wear it in and out of the field. It's too bulky. But with this, I had it in and out of the field with me on all my hunts. Super mobile, super lightweight. The only thing that I changed with this harness is I did a DIY modification for the bridge, and this is Amsteel Blue. So I watched a video, G2 Outdoors. He did a tutorial on Amsteel Blue bridge, and I did my own buries, and I put this onto this saddle, and it made it a lot easier to get around. It's a lot less bulky. This saddle is just fantastic. It has all the good MOLLE webbing on the back, so I could clip my sticks in when I was climbing up the tree. I had a couple little screw-in gear hangers, things of that nature. This over here, this is my lineman's rope. I keep it daisy chained over on this side here, so it stays out of the way. But with this saddle, I was able to be super mobile this year, which helped me in a lot of situations. I didn't kill a deer from the saddle this year, but I got into places that I normally wouldn't get into, which helped me to kill deer. I ended up killing one deer from a set stand and then another deer from the ground, but I used the saddle in many situations that helped me to get to where I was killing deer. Now, my number 1 piece of gear by far this year is the Mystery Ranch PopUp 28 pack. This pack is by far the number 1 piece of game-changing equipment that I had this year. Not only did it help me be more mobile and comfortable while I was hunting on walk-in hunts, but even when I was just going to a set stand, this pack is super comfortable. You can stick a lot of weight in this pack. I would carry 4 hawk sticks and my platform in this stand when I was hunting out of my saddle, and then I was hunting from the ground, I would carry that Browning Strutter chair in the overload shelf. So what this pack is and I have another video on my page that goes into an in-depth review of this pack, but essentially it's a Western day hunting pack, and I've just kind of transitioned it into my whitetail hunting pack. So it has an overload shelf, and I'd stick my sticks and my platform in that overload shelf, and then in the main compartment, which is a pretty big compartment, I'd have my camera arm, camera base, and my camera. And that's pretty much all I kept in this pack. Which some people might say, well, just, you know, bungee it all together and throw it on a strap or something. But this pack keeps it all super organized and super compact and tight to your body. And also what's great about this pack is since it was made for the Western hunter with the idea of packing game out, if you were successful with your hunt, is in Kansas, I shot my buck about 3/4 mile in, and I had to walk across this kind of big marsh to get back to where I was hunting. And I killed my buck way back in this piece of public, and I quartered it out way back in the public and packed it out in quarters using this pack. And I am never going to drag a deer out on a deer cart or a sled ever again. It was fantastic. I threw the quarters in here. I made it in 2 trips, and this was a 200-pound, 220-pound Kansas whitetail. It wasn't any chump of a deer. So on my first trip, I think I took 1 ham, 1 shoulder quarter, back straps, and neck meat. And the next trip, I took 1 ham, 1 shoulder quarter, back strap, and the head. So in 2 loads with this little pack, I was able to get the whole entire deer out. Not to mention the gear that I already had with me, my camera, my Browning chair. It was pretty awesome. And I'm never going to drag a deer out of the woods again. I'm being completely honest here. And I'm never going to hunt with a different pack. This is going to be sit. This is going to be my pack. I might get the PopUp 18 for other reasons, but the PopUp 28 holds my camera arm and my camera base and my camera, and I can also shove a lot of extra clothes on the on the sides, and I can suck them down tight with the straps. Sorry about him. And I can suck it down tight with the straps. When it was really cold one day, I had my sticks, my platform, all my camera equipment, and I had an extra base layer, and I had I had an extra outer layer shell for my pants and an extra outer layer on my jacket, all with this pack. So that's my #1 piece of gear for 2018. So those are the 5 pieces of gear that I used this year that I think really transformed the way that I hunt and helped me to be successful. If y'all have any questions or comments, put them down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram at DIY Whitetail. Thanks for following along, and stay tuned for future videos. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.